Hello everyone, I'm Caitlin.
I'm Chloe.
I'm Saleh.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Ty, and we're going to explain to you today our curriculum of the future.
Our main aim is to prepare children with life skills and self-reliance to become independent, confident, and self-assured citizens. As Every Child Matter says, one aim of education is to maintain and develop economic well-being of individuals and society in general. Our curriculum is similar to what of Scotland and Wales have.
The curriculum of the future has three core purposes. The first is to create successful and ambitious learners, preparing them for the future and ready to play a part in all walks of society. The second is to create well-educated, ethical, and environmentally friendly citizens of the world. And finally, it was important for us to create healthy, confident individuals ready to lead fulfilling lives as valued members of society.
The structure and content of our curriculum are digital, numeracy, literacy and environment. They are our core subject areas. The cross-curriculum subject areas within our 4 areas of learning are well-being and health, expressive art, the world around us and life skills. Traditional versus progressive approaches.
We compared and contrasted the 4 curriculums within the UK. We sorted through and we looked at traditional based curriculums such as England and progressive such as Wales and in Scotland. So the national curriculum in England is a traditional subject-based approach. It has an emphasis on national testing and knowledge that's gained. Is split into 4 stages for each stage of schooling life. It has a hierarchy of subjects with English, maths and science being the core subjects and the following being foundation subjects. We found that the curriculum lacks flexibility and it's not really relatable to the economic changes that we experience today.
The curriculum for Wales is not dissimilar of this. It promotes collaboration and cross-disciplinary planning, learning and teaching both with and across areas. So basically what they're trying to say is that the core subjects are tried to be embedded into everyday life. This enables learners to build connections across their learning and combine different experiences, knowledge and skills.
The pupils in Scotland follow a curriculum named the Curriculum for Excellence. The curriculum was implemented in 2010 and guides the education of children and teenagers from nursery until the end of S3, which is the equivalent of 3rd year in secondary school. It's a progressive approach focusing on the health and well-being of the learners, making sure that each child feels happy, healthy and safe to allow them to continue to learn and develop most effectively. At the centre of the curriculum are 4 fundamental capacities. These capacities reflect and recognise on the lifelong nature of education and learning. The 4 capacities are aimed at helping children and young people to become successful learners, confident individuals, responsible citizens, and effective contributors.
Northern Ireland's curriculum used to be traditional like England's. However, after 2019, it was revised. The revision to the curriculum aimed to retain the best of current practice while seeking to give greater emphasis to important elements such as children's personal development and mutual understanding and the explicit development of thinking skills and personal capabilities.
One of our main core subject areas is health and well-being. This will focus on equality, emotional intelligence, mental health, digital well-being, physical education, and encouraging healthy eating. Well-being describes a state of feeling healthy, happy, and the fact that life is going well. Good mental health is a state of well-being in which we realise our own potential and can cope with the normal stresses of life and work productively and are able to contribute to our community. Learning through health and well-being will enable children and young people to make informed decisions to improve their mental, emotional, social and physical well-being, will help children to experience challenge and enjoyment, will help children to apply their mental, emotional, social and physical skills to pursue a healthy lifestyle, and will also be able to establish a pattern of health and well-being which will be sustained into adult life. Traditionally, schools have focused on students' current needs or short-term victories. However, these short-term items fall short in benefiting students compared with the lifelong advantages of well-being. Ed Diner wrote, "Happiness is emotional capital we can spend in the pursuit of other attractive outcomes. Research shows that happy people live longer, to fewer illnesses, stay married longer, commit fewer crimes, and produce more creative ideas." We believe, just like Scotland's curriculum for excellence, children and young people should feel happy, safe, respected, and included in the school environment. Similarly, England's Education Secretary, Damien Hinds, suggests that all children in England will be taught how to look after their mental well-being and recognise when classmates may be struggling, as the government unveils new guidance for the introduction of compulsory health educations. Good health and well-being is central to effective learning and preparation for successful independent living, which is mirrored both in the curriculum of the future and the Welsh curriculum. We believe through enabling learners to manage risks, express ideas and emotions, develop and maintain healthy lifestyles will support learners to become creative contributors ready to play the full-time part in life and work.
Expressive art is another subject area of learning. These are covering performing arts, music, art, dance, film and digital media. The Arts and Education Network believe that art builds confidence in music, performance, poetry, digital music, exploration of both historic and contemporary heritage. In 2015, Brown explained the Warwick Commission's report. There was a downfall in participation with arts subjects for GCSE. It also emphasised the inequalities and barriers to access for all. The demographic of people who have the most access to arts doesn't reflect the UK population. The Department of Education said that the arts are a crucial part to play in implementing a balanced and broad curriculum, which will prepare students for life in modern Britain. However, the National Curriculum Framework, that's not been revised since 2014, state that the arts are not compulsory national curriculum subjects after the age of 14. However, students are entitled to be able to study the subjects in those areas if they wanted to. Bakshi and Matios Garcia in 2014 argued that to accommodate the growth in UK's creative curriculum, schools should adopt a multidisciplinary approach to bringing together arts and science, which is an approach that we're taking on with this curriculum. Lord Melvin Bragg said that the investment in the creative arts is key to the lives of so many people in this country and to the richer life of the country itself. Through our cross-curricular approach, the arts can be used throughout projects within the curriculum, which are going to be accessible to all students, accommodate the abilities, and will cater for the creative economic growth and needs of the country. We want to adopt the same principles from Scotland's Expressive Arts framework to ensure that students are able to express themselves and recognise and represent feelings and emotions, give them opportunities to be creative and imaginative, to experience inspiration and enjoyment in developing creative skills, and experience the excitement of performing and presenting for different audiences. We also want to adopt the principles of expressive arts within the Welsh curriculum, the curriculum of Wales, where students can question and challenge viewpoints. They can explore their own heritage, cultural heritage, and that of others, and will also shape and express personal, social, and cultural identities.
The world around us will cover languages, geography, philosophy, history, science, politics, religion, and citizenships. This sort of links with the Northern Ireland curriculum primary of 2007, and the purpose of this is to help children explore and find age-appropriate answers to all the big questions that they're wondering, and it'll help identity. They'll also start questioning who they are, where they're from, and just sort of link to their local area.
Within our curriculum, we've also decided that life skills is going to be quite an important aspect. The World Health Organization defines life skills as a group of psychosocial competencies and interpersonal skills that help people make informed decisions, solve problems, think critically and creatively, communicate effectively, build healthy relationships, empathize with others, and cope with and manage their lives in a healthy and responsible manner. Within our curriculum, we have placed heavy emphasis on learners developing life skills such as home economics and finance. We chose to follow this approach because we believe that not only preparing pupils academically is important, but also to prepare them for situations such as living alone and moving into the world of work. In the existing curricula of the United Kingdom, life skills aren't focused on and are thought of a non-essential topic to cover, and in England especially, subjects such as mathematics, literacy and science are brought the most attention and are often spent the most class time learning. In our curriculum, we do not disagree with the importance of the core subjects. However, we believe that life skills and various subcategories of it can be integrated into today's teaching methods, making our learners more prepared for life past school. In today's challenging and diverse society, we must instill young students with positive and open-minded attitudes. Our goal is to create an inclusive classroom environment where no prejudice is present. This will be achieved through raising awareness of diversity by highlighting individual characteristics/traits which make students more unique rather than different. In Scotland, their LGBTQ lessons. Scotland is the first country to embed LGBT inclusive education into their curriculum. The aim of this decision is to help tackle discriminations towards young people. Using the free resources on the internet, teachers can gather the ideas for lesson plans created by professionals to help them support topics such as gender identity and sexuality. And they say, we all have a responsibility to support our children and young people to be confident and proud of who they are, to know that they are valued and loved, and to know that they will be treated equally and fairly.
The Wellbeing of Future Generations Wales Act in 2015 is a law set by the Welsh Government containing 7 goals to improve social, economic, environmental and cultural well-being of Wales. We feel that these goals are reflected in our curriculum of the future regarding our purposes and the content of our curriculum. A quick overview of the 7 goals are a prosperous Wales, which includes climate change, economy, employment and business opportunities, and supporting good education and qualifications. There's resilient Wales, which is the natural environment, so looking at air and water pollution, recycling, renewable energy and using natural resources. A healthier Wales includes mental health, physical health, making the right choices, so online issues with social media, encouraging healthy eating, exercise, mental health and just looking after ourselves in general. A more equal Wales relates to giving opportunities to all people, including minority groups and those living in poverty. A Wales of cohesive communities, so making sure that people feel safe where they live and where they can feel part of a community, which also includes the school community. A Wales of vibrant culture and thriving Welsh language, so that's including art and cultural activities, looking at the heritage, history and sport. And then we have Global Responsibility Wales, which is making a positive contribution to global well-being. The UN Convention on Rights of the Child is an agreement setting out rights for children covering all aspects of their lives, which has been agreed with countries around the world. According to UNICEF, Article 12 states every child has the right to express their views, feelings and wishes in all matters affecting them and to have their views considered and taken seriously. To ensure that children's rights are being recognised and respected, schools are using student voice as a foundation in involving children with their own learning and within their school communities. This also supports all-round development.
What is student voice? The term student voice is often similarly used with pupil voice and learner voice, as acclaimed by Robinson and Taylor 2007. According to Robinson 2019, children tend to enjoy school more when they feel like they are listened to, when their views are taken more seriously, when they're respected and valued, and when they feel included.
In 2004, both myself and all my friends in my classroom started to finally be heard. An organisation called Standout, which worked to improve meaningful student involvement, began defining student voice as the individual collective perspective and actions of young people within the context of learning and education. Busher, 2012, expands on this definition of student voice, where he states that listening to pupils' views, considering their needs and interests, and involving them as active participants in their learning can actually help schools to become communities rather than knowledge factories that serve the majority of pupils within them.
Student voice is any expression of any learner regarding anything related to education. In 2008, Harper says, student voice is given to students the ability to influence learning to include policies, programs, contexts, and principles. Student voice is the individual and collective perspective and actions of students within the context of learning and education.
Student voice is an approach that allows children to express their own views, ideas, and opinions within their school, with the goal to make changes that they believe would make their experience better. Student voice correctly implemented means that they will be listened to no matter the age or experience of the child. Schools that incorporate it will include opportunities in class for feedback, school council, and self-assessment in order to include as many voices as possible. It helps us to allow pupils to shape their learning journey to their own interests.
We are now live at the Senedd debating student voice. Caitlin, why do you think student voice is effective?
According to Mitra 2004, student voice, also known as pupil voice, encourages motivation, confidence, self-esteem, and communication skills. I agree with this statement because pupils are having the opportunity to take control of their learning, meaning they can pick what they want to talk about, what they want to learn, how they want to do it.
Lodge says in 2005 that teachers and other staff often believe that they know better or consider young people to be too immature to make a worthwhile contribution. I agree with Lodge, as I believe children are too young and vulnerable to be included within the decision-making process.
Well, actually, I think that various studies have confirmed the benefits of pupil voice because it's got increased pupil engagement, improved relationship between pupils and teachers, it leads to better communication between pupils and the school, and it provides the right conditions for a school community to become a better learning community.
But do you not think that building a programme of student voice can actually be problematic in some schools? If the teachers become too fixated on the idea of certain aspects, like having a school council, making children choose their curriculum, they can sometimes be too fixated on the idea of comparing themselves to other schools and the factors that they contribute to actually what the students are saying. This is echoed in Field in 2004 and Quinn and O in 2014, where they essentially say that student voice can actually be a massive downfall when teachers become too fixated and they're not genuine and committed to the approach.
However, Chloe, student voice activities should be part of a system that values and respects all views and members of the community in the school, including staff. The NASID believes that student voice can only be effective if they have developed coping mechanisms to ensure that all members of the school community are able to express their views and opinions and have criticism feedback.
However, Caitlin, one of the difficulties that organisations face in developing children's participation is the attitude and culture that views children as too young. In 2007, Bragg gives examples of some unsatisfactory answers given by primary school students when asked for their views on what they would change about their school. Their responses were, "We don't like always having to do English and maths in the morning. Why can't we do it in the afternoon?" This is a prime example showing how children being involved in the decision-making process will only bring suggestions that are only in the interest of themselves.
Ty, do you think student voice affects learners' participation?
Well, I think the impact of involving students in making decisions at a whole school level opens up opportunities for participation in areas that weren't previously available to them. And just to add, Quinn and Owen said that these school practices offer students the opportunity to make informed decisions regarding their learning and learning environments, as well as issues that will affect them as individuals within society.
But it's not always about the school. What about the pupils? Limitations of student voice actually stem from the actual voice being spoken. So I'm quite a confident student, I would say, whereas other people may lack confidence in certain areas, which will actually become a downfall of students, because the more confident people will keep incorporating their ideas into the school, and which may be good, may be bad. However, on the flip side of things, people with less confidence may have similar ideas, the same ideas, but in fact are too scared to voice their opinion. Gunter and Thompson, 2007, for example, point out that some voices speak a lot louder than others. Some students struggle to get their point across, which can obviously affect the way that they incorporate student voice into curriculums. And obviously they may become concerned about their contributions to the classroom.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Lewis and I am a teacher at Brimley Primary School. When we start a new project, we do pupil voice and we find out what the children know already relating to the new topic, what they want to learn, and later on, what they've learned, so we make them part of the learning journey. School council has been curtailed because of COVID, but we normally have 2 representatives for each year from year 1 to 6 and under the guidance of staff members. They discuss priorities for the school, for example, resources and new arrangements regarding playtimes, what works and what doesn't. I'm sure you've spoken to one of my pupils.
You have student voice in school.
The teacher tells me what we want to learn about it.
Okay, so what was your topic this term?
About under the water.
Okay, and what ideas did your classmates have?
Mermaids and dolphins.
Yeah.
And I said about coral.
Okay, what did you say about coral?
That it's an animal.
Okay, well done. Did you, all your ideas, did you get to do them in the class?
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you do about mermaids?
We did a dot to dot of the tail.
You did a dot to dot of the tail, okay. And did you do anything on coral?
Colouring it in.
You coloured in the coral, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
In my comprehensive school, we have many eco committees and school council committees that create ideas that are put forward to teachers in order to help make improvements and small changes to the school. The teachers use our ideas to put forward to other members of staff and higher staff members such as the head teacher and deputy head teachers, and from that point they use our point of views and our opinions to put forward to the rest of the school to see how effective our methods and our ways of thinking are.
As a teacher in Glanusks Primary School, we took on the role as a pioneer school to take forward developments relating to the curriculum. The SHINE curriculum was launched in September 2015 and it stands for Skills Learned Holistically to Inspire, Nurture and Empower. It's an inclusive learner-led curriculum which excites, challenges and empowers all learners. I say that we feel that we have led curriculum innovation, professional learning and reflective practice, and this in turn has resulted in confident pupils who lead their own learning effectively. Our classrooms include a learning wall, as you can see, for each pupil, highlighting the children's planning skills and lesson ideas. This means that each pupil has a significant role in shaping the curriculum and their contributions are always valued. The main reasons we felt it was important to be a pioneer school is because we wanted to make sure that pupil voice was at the heart of school improvement. This is firmly embedded in our school and does have a significant impact on pupil well-being and standards of teaching and learning.
Our classrooms will be places where students not only gain knowledge but also discover who they are and who they want to be. The only way students will come to this realization is through both independent and collaborative methods in which they add their voices to the conversation. Prioritizing students' voice strengthens a sense of belonging as the learning experience is created by both students and teachers. In the presentation slide, it outlines areas and subjects where we implement student voice within our curriculum. For example, when it comes to planning, children will have a say in the process by giving them the opportunity at the beginning of the topic or theme to share ideas and what they would like to do. When it comes to assessments, teachers will ask for feedback after every assessment and implement their suggestions, as it conveys that we value their insight and they are the center of the school's work. For environment, we'll make an eco-council with children to set eco-friendly and sustainability strategies within schools to comply with. Critical thinking, we'll encourage debate by creating learners that can formulate through research, listen to, and engage in respectful discourse. Finance, we'll involve children in projects relating to budgets or fundraisers. When it comes to subjects such as design and technology or humanities such as history, we'll give children the opportunity to suggest what topics they would like to learn out the topics stated in the curriculum and discuss what projects they would like to take part in. Religion, we'll celebrate festivals for all religions to create awareness and acceptance of cultures. Equality, we'll make lessons more personally relevant as children have diverse backgrounds so they can have the chance to share their cultures to build confidence and encourage students to take on the voice of others, as it will help students to develop empathy and be open to other perspectives. Life skills, we'll ask children to discuss what skills they think they need to know when leaving school and then incorporate suggestions within projects. Expressive arts, we'll encourage the children's creativity within projects, composing different avenues such as music into their work, letting them choose their materials to work with, taking on different concepts of projects through dance, music, and creativity. And finally, for digital skills, we'll give children the opportunity in writing-based subjects to write their notes or do their presentations on laptops so they can get more familiar with programs such as Word or PowerPoint.